Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm sorry I couldn't make it today. I've been a little under the weather, to say the least. I do want to spend a few minutes just talking about the midterm and looking at the midterm study guide. So, our midterm is scheduled for Wednesday during our normal class period. Please bring pencil and I'll provide the Scantrons. What you see on the study guide is a list of terms. Really, the best way to study for the midterm exam is to define the terms and to have an understanding of how we can apply the term in terms of history. So, for example, before I go further, keep in mind that the format of the midterm exam is 50 multiple choice questions. All right. So the first question is the evolution of hominids, or rather, the first term is the evolution of hominids, and this is certainly about the evolution of hominids as early primates are going to become and evolve into new species. We talked about this in our very first class meeting. These were also questions throughout the quizzes, but this is looking at Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, that kind of thing. We also spent some time looking at the migration of humans out of Africa. So the first place that humans are going to migrate out of Africa is Southwest Asia. And then from there, go to different points around the globe. We also spent considerable time looking at the Paleolithic era. Paleolithic, again, is the old stone era. During this time, humans are not sedentary, they are migrating, they are foraging. And that is the main characteristic. For ideas of culture and art during the Paleolithic, remember that all human societies of the Paleolithic create cave art. This is one of the characteristics that unites all Paleolithic peoples around the globe. We also spent some time looking at the Neolithic era, Neolithic meaning new stone. And of course, the most significant facet of this time is the agricultural revolution, which then gives us the basis of civilization. We spent some time also looking at characteristics of civilization. So each civilization is going to be supported by a fresh water system. Each civilization will have ideas about religion, ideas about social hierarchy, ideas about food and food production in terms of agriculture. Some will have writing, some will not. So writing is not a characteristic of a civilization. Agriculture, however, very much is, and is arguably the defining characteristic. We looked at the first civilization that emerged in Mesopotamia in the region known as the Fertile Crescent between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Remember, we also did some ecology of civilization, charting. The Indus River Valley, we didn't talk about that in class, but there's a great deal of information about the Indus River Valley. That is ancient India in the textbook, as well as the Harappa civilization. The first grains that are, I'm trying to think, planted are wheat and barley. We've spent some time looking at the Yellow River in China, this concept of the mandate of heaven that is developed, which really helps to influence ideas not only of religion but also government. Remember, the mandate of heaven is the idea that the gods have bestowed the duty of leading to a particular dynastic family, and that mandate can be taken from said family and given to someone else. So this becomes one of the primary ways that they understand their social and even political obligation. We looked at the evolution of this idea from the Shang to the Zhou. We also looked at some of the earliest evidences of human writing in terms of Babylonian laws and Hammurabi's code in Mesopotamia. And again, these are the first laws ever written down, and within these first human laws was the very clear assertion that people were not equal because of class. That wealthy men and poor men had very different rules and obligations. The Rig Veda is a ancient text from India. It is considered the world's oldest and longest poem. The city of Meroe was in ancient Nubia. The Bering Strait is that part of North America that meets Asia, which provided the land bridge to make migration to the Americas possible. So again, the best thing to do is to have a some sort of definition for each term. If you have any other specific questions, please let me know. Email me or send me a message in Canvas. There is also a question on the exam about what your textbook really is trying to get you to see. And the aim of the textbook is in the title itself. It is trying to get students to understand patterns in world history and to show similarities amongst different people, different regions, and to try to understand what that means. So, as I said, I will see you guys on Wednesday. If you have any other questions, please do let me know.